Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Hillwarden in Going Medieval. So today what we're going to be working on is a whole bunch of stuff. I want to get a oak brethren chapel basically built. I'm not sure where we're going to put it, but that's basically my main focus today. I also want to see if we can't get this next barn set up so we can get our goats in there. So we'll see if we can't fit that in today too. I hear hammering, so they're probably working on something at the moment. We also worked on getting that little fence set up over by the woodworking place. So I wanted to put the fence back in, but this time I think we'll go with a better fence. I haven't seen any settlers destroy this, so I think it might have been just natural decay over time. So that's interesting. We also had tamed one of our dogs, or I guess trained. It's already been tamed. So we can assign it to basically picking up items and helping with that. Now that it's fenced in, it should be a little bit more safe. So that's good. So, like I said before, I'm pretty sure the fence is just decay. So I was looking at basically with this guy building it, and he went through the fence, but he also went through it when he left. So it didn't actually break down. I think it's just not natural decay when it was breaking before. I also discovered, I don't know if this was in the game before or if it was recently added in a patch, but you can actually assign your settlers to a role for basically practicing. So this makes it a lot easier when you want only specific settlers to actually do the practice. The next goal is to work on getting this section of the building to wood. So we'll remove the stone and basically replace it with wood, but we need to get the roof taken out first, so we'll do that first, and hopefully we can get that section done. So our tree farm is actually taking up a lot of space that could be utilized for other buildings, so we'll need to eventually figure out where to put some of these other buildings and stuff like that. So they started working in the morning, removing the roofs and the other tiles there for the stone, so we could quickly put that in before winter. I didn't want it getting too cold at night, just in case they didn't finish it completely, so I was really trying to get it done. But this is basically what it looks like after, and I think I like that style actually a lot more. So we have our herbs here and our cabbage growing. Well, we don't actually have growing, it's not the season for it, but that's where they will be growing, and we don't have any lattice over it, so I wanted to put some lattice in over above it. We do have barley still growing, and this will take them a couple days to complete, but barley's growing where the flax used to grow over on the other farm there. A beggar arrived, but I didn't feel prone to actually opening the gate, so I just left them out there. Basically, they left eventually. So we started working on a oak brethren building, and it's basically like a church, a chapel type thing. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep this particular layout. We might expand it later or make it a little bit bigger because of some other complications. The merchant arrived, and they actually had a male cow with them. It's not going to do us any good at the very moment, but our other cow is actually quite old, so I was figuring we could swap that out. So I opened the gate for these guys, and we traded with them. So we traded our other cow that didn't get us fully what we needed, but we also took some of their coins and some other things. So we sold quite a bit of stuff that we could trade, like wine and other things that we had laying around. So we hauled that cow back into the gate. It was still outside, so there are some wolves still out there. I wouldn't mind putting a fence around here just to keep the wildlife out. It would be probably good to have that happen. So I mentioned complications with the design that I was working on, and that's because the Oak Brethren shrine is 3 tiles and we have 4 tiles, so it's a little bit uneven. So I think what we'll do is we'll expand it later on. This will require tearing it down and everything. So we weren't making enough bricks because we had too much animal feces to actually basically deal with, so I'd put another kiln down. After botching the first, basically, Great Hall greeting, I didn't have enough time to actually fulfill the other one with that particular faction, but our settlers enjoyed it. So, yeah, I wasn't able to get them any more points, unfortunately. So there was some deer carcasses out in the open here, so it was freshly taken down by those wolves. So I got our dogs and our settlers to go pick those up, or at least a couple of them, to fill up our stock for meat. We also needed more clay for our barn project, so I started mining some of that out. Our settlers are also very low in the skill for melee, so I wanted to make sure that they were able to practice a little bit with those. So we started production on some dummies and some stands here. One of the other things that we purchased was some decorative tiles. Now these, I think, come in wooden form as well, so we might actually go ahead and unlock the wooden decorative tiles later on and fill it in with a oak brethren floor. We'll see if we can't do that next. We were preparing the other room across from the bard for someone special that we'll be having with the new role, but I won't spoil it just yet. So definitely wait a little bit while, and you'll be able to see who's getting promoted. So we also planted some herbs outside of the grave of, oh, I can't remember who died, but basically we put some herbs in front of there. It's the closest thing that I can plant for flowers. So the promotion goes to Sandy Shore. She basically has good skill in basically communication, so it's perfect for the prison warden. Shortly after, we had a bunch of wolves spawn on the map, but I'm not too worried about it because we have the gate closed and everything is basically locked up, so we should be completely fine now without needing to worry. I also discovered something really actually cool. I didn't notice this before, and I think it's been in the game for quite a while, but if you move or basically empty out the barrels that are frozen, you can actually get ice from them. So I'm not sure if this is like intended, but it's cool. So that one barrel gave us like 5 blocks of ice. So we'll have to consider actually making a few dedicated barrels for that particular purpose for winters and stuff like that, so we can get more ice. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really cool feature. So we took that ice actually down to our cellar so we could keep everything cold down there. Looks like one of the chickens died as well, and a sheep, I think. So yeah, but yeah, we're basically filling it up around in the spaces that are empty with some ice there. We also started training Sandy because a prison warden's only good if she's good at defending, and we also, I believe, got our bard to start training as well. So both are melee people, so I wanted to make sure that they're prepared. So we got a new settler, and she's good in cooking, but not a whole bunch else. We need more melee. She's only got 4 points in that, so we'll have to train her as well. But we could definitely use the extra manpower in our settlement for sure, so I accepted her to join. So the barn walls are basically done. I just need to get the roof on for the part where the food is going to go, so it doesn't actually like spoil or anything like that. And that will take probably next episode to do, but then we can start working on the roof and the floor in the inside. So yeah, we have tons of goats, and I think that will give more room for chickens and cows to basically grow. So we'll definitely be moving those over into the new barn. Outside of that, we're doing really good for progress. We will work on that church a little bit more next episode. I want to expand it a little bit outwards and give us more room, so we'll be working on that for sure, and probably finishing on moving the animals in. That's my main 2 focuses for next episode. But if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, rate the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.